Greetings, beautiful earthlings. My name is Star. If you guys are new here, I don't know how you found me, but I'm super glad you did. And if you're returning, y'all the real MVP, you already know. So, first and foremost, I want to say we've got some little birdie friends outside my window, so you guys are probably going to hear them the entire time. It's really cute. They love being around my window right on this little ledge that's right here. So, I am super excited for this video. I really wanted to do a couple more before this one, but I am just beyond excited for this, so I have to do it now, get it out of my system. You already saw the title, you already know what you're here for, so I'm just gonna cut that intro real short and say we're gonna do the Starman Tarot unboxing today. Yay! Because I'm just like dying to get into this and start playing with it. If you guys saw my last one, you know that I've been playing around with the decks that I just got before I even got to do an unboxing. That's just kind of how it is when you get a new tarot deck. You have to introduce yourself to it and you have to play around with it and, you know, let it know that you're its new friend and it's your new friend, and you guys got to connect and you got to start doing readings like immediately so that you get to know that deck, right? So yesterday I opened it, that way I didn't have the crinkly plastic sound going on in this video, but I kept myself from looking at the cards, which was so hard to do. So if you guys are not familiar with the Starman Tarot, it is based on the artwork David DeAngelis did for David Bowie. So that's why I got my Bowie shirt on today. Hey, gotta represent. And I've been waiting years for this. If you guys did not see my last video of my tarot collection, I will link that in the description. I will also link where you can get this on Amazon, non-affiliated link. It's a little under $30, so it's not going to put you out too much. It's a big collector's piece as well. So if you're a big fan of David Bowie, I definitely recommend. And if you're a tarot reader and you just love this imagery, you can't get much better than that. I've seen this used in so many tarot reading videos, and that energy is just wild, you guys, and you're gonna see that right here. So let's go ahead and get into this. First of all, this box is very heavy, very weighty. As you can see, it's a very hefty box. Very hefty. You got some fun reading here on the back. Okay, hefty box, and it's beautiful. I'm gonna keep it as a collector's item. Chances are, once I start using this deck a lot, I'm gonna get another one just to put away as a collector's item, because like I said, I am a huge Bowie fan. David Bowie has been my idol my entire life. You guys are gonna see a lot more videos from me about David Bowie, trust and believe that. But this little thing here on the side, that's what comes off. Super cute. And then we got this little pull out here. Boop. So here you have your booklet. And I do believe there's a bigger one that comes with the journal. I'm not quite sure what's in that bigger one. It's like $100, so I haven't really looked at it. But there is a journal with this imagery on it as well. So first and foremost, I want to look at this book because it's a very thick book. Most tarot books you get are not that thick. They're usually very tiny, and they just tell you what the meanings of the cards are. Look at that. And then on the back, you're going to see that throughout the deck as well. And in this one, Starman Tarot is dedicated to our sunshine singing daughter Solaria. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so you got all of your normal stuff in here that a normal book would have, not even a tarot book. Acknowledgments. I know this is not the juicy stuff. Okay, looks like there is a foreword here on the journey, which is amazing. There is a first version of the card, The Lovers, in 1995. Which is pretty cool. Okay. There's a little introduction to tarot in here, which is probably why this is so weighty. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a history of tarot. This is a full read. Full read. So it shows you all the different tarot decks throughout time. This is great. I didn't realize this was a whole book. Okay, so let's get into it. Boom, Major Arcana. And this is what I wanted to know. It does have the picture of the card on there. See? So you got your all your meanings on here. What it means reversed. And this little one is kind of just the general quick meaning for that. Okay, so it looks like you're gonna get that for every single card. Which is super awesome. I love when the books have the pictures on them. It's kind of frustrating when they don't, especially in oracle decks, and you have to sit there and like triple check. Okay, then at the back you've got using the tarot cards. Is this about spreads? Yep, how to use, and different spreads at the back, and then at the very end you've got your authors. Cool, so that is very useful. That's an actual full read, which is amazing. You don't see that often in tarot books. And here is the deck in the box. So what I wanted to point out with this deck is that it's actually quite a bit larger than my smaller pocket decks. If you guys saw that last video, you'd see that my Vanessa Tarot and my Radiant Rider Waite are both tiny, like playing cards, easy to shuffle. This one is actually very large. It's tall and skinny. So the oracle decks are like tall and fat. They're very evenly distributed on the size, but this one is tall and skinny. So this seems like it'd be more of a shuffle like this instead of a sideways shuffle the way I would shuffle an oracle deck. Not sure if that helps. Sometimes it does. But this card right here is just kind of a cute little collector piece. Same thing with the one that comes on the back. More info. Same thing. So here is your back of the deck. That's the image that's on it, which is crazy. And then your front of the cards, look at that. Okay, so the one thing that I always want to know in a tarot deck is, do they all have names? Because some of them, it's just the major arcana that has names. It does look like the minor arcana has names on here as well. They're very tiny at the bottom. But let's go ahead and just flip through some of these. You got the Fool. Sorry, I know it's super shiny. What is this one? The Starman. It's number 1, so I guess that's your Magician card. So it looks like this cardstock. How would I compare this? This is the cardstock of normal playing cards. Like a normal, I don't want to say 99-cent playing cards, but normal playing cards. You've got some tarot cards with the thicker cardstock that aren't going to be messed up too easily. This one seems like just normal regular cardstock. They are very non-stick, which is really good. Look at, good grief. They have like human faces. Here's your High Priestess. These cards are insane. Your Emperor. Hierophant. Ooh, look at this. This is your Lover's card. Here's your Chariot. Strength. This one says the Alien. Oh, the Wheel. This looks like that is Mr. Mr. Jones there on that one. Good grief, you guys. If you are not already sold on this being a Bowie fan, the energy from these cards is just incredible. Look at this, Hanged Man. This is why I wanted to wait to look through these, because I am so blown away. I don't even have words. That's your Death card. This one is Temperance. So I would not recommend this as a beginner deck. And here's why. Look at your Devil card. As a person who's looked through a lot of tarot decks, watched a lot of tarot videos, that's your Tower card. I'm sure some of you will agree with me. These cards are not very in line with the normal Rider-Waite imagery. Here's your Star card. So for beginners, this would be extremely hard to read. There's your Moon card. The Rider-Waite imagery is very easy to read, very straightforward. I wish I would have thought of this beforehand. I would have had the Rider-Waite next to me, and I should have, but it's over there. Here is the Sun. And these are also gigantic cards. As a beginner, one of the biggest things for me was learning to shuffle, and it's very important to find your own groove in shuffling. Some people shuffle them like a deck of playing cards. Some people shuffle them just sideways. Some people will, you know, cut the deck and just mix them. So you gotta find your own groove when it comes to shuffling. But there's your Judgment card. And you know what? I'm actually going to go grab my Rider-Waite. Sorry, I don't have editing, so you're going to have to wait 2 seconds. Okay. So here is the difference in imagery on the Rider-Waite. And you can actually see, here's the difference in size. Almost twice the size, right? And let's see if I can find one of the ones we just saw. So here's your full card in the Starman, and here's your full card in the Rider-Waite. So that's a huge difference in imagery, and that's what I'm talking about as far as readability goes for beginners. Yeah, it's a fun deck to have around and to want and to look at and to play with, and maybe put on the back burner until you're a little bit more seasoned with tarot. But as far as beginners go, I wouldn't recommend this deck. If you're a seasoned tarot reader, by all means, it's beautiful. Look at this. That's the World. Wow, oh my goodness, look at this one. Ace of Cups. And as a more seasoned tarot reader, you can also see there's a huge difference in imagery, and that's because this is meant for energy transfer. That's what all of this beautiful stuff is. That kind of looks like Metatron's cube. I could be wrong, but that when I was looking into this, there's your Two of Cups. So there's the Minor Arcana. You see that does still have the name down there at the bottom. But that's what all these colors are for. That's what all these lines and all of this psychedelic imagery is for, was meant for energy transfer. Okay, Three of Cups, Four of Cups. So you can see this is more of an artistic piece. Five of Cups. And is not really meant for beginner tarot readers. So I myself am probably going to have a Rider-Waite next to it to compare when learning this deck. And I would highly suggest that for, seasoned and beginner readers alike. Because your Rider-Waite is what everything is based off of, right? And, I mean, as beautiful as these cards are, as fun as this deck is, goodness, look at her, Princess of Cups. this is just not a beginner deck by any means. Here's your Prince of Cups. So it looks like Mr. Jones appears quite a few times throughout this deck, which is amazing, so exciting. Here's your Queen of Cups. I definitely feel like Mr. Jones is here with us in this deck, and that's really a big reason that I wanted to get this deck, because the passing of David Bowie was very, very hard on me. There were only 2 celebrities that passing hit me as hard as it did, and David Bowie was a huge one of them. And I feel like he's definitely immortalized here in this deck. I can feel the energy of him being with us. I feel like I can hear his music in my head looking through these cards. This is beyond beautiful. Hats off, David DeAngelis. This deck is insane. And I really wanted to give you guys a full look at these cards. I know it makes for a longer video, but certain cards may call out to you more than others do. And that might get you to either get or not get this deck. So I'm going to stop here on the 10 of Pentacles. Look at that beautiful imagery. Wow. And I want to do a quick shuffle of this deck just so that I can see. Yeah, this deck is huge. I feel like I'm going to have to... Yeah, there's no way to like easily shuffle this deck. There we go. It's still a harder shuffle. They're very long. It's a little bit messier. I might have to sideways shuffle it like an oracle deck. So the way that I sideways shuffle my oracle decks is like this instead of like this, if that makes sense. Let me see if that works at all. It's still a pretty messy shuffle. I mean, these are new cards, but like I said, that's something to definitely consider when you're buying a tarot deck, especially when you're starting out. This feels like one I might have to just cut and mix to be able to shuffle. So that's definitely something to consider. These are the things that I look for when I'm watching unboxing videos. I want to see full imagery. I want to see what that book looks like. I want to see if these are easily shuffleable. So these are definitely non-stick, which is very great when I'm sitting here trying to shuffle through them. They're sliding all over the place. They're flying, which is great. Makes for great jumpers, makes for great flippers. So I think that this would be a great deck to have on hand for any seasoned tarot reader, especially YouTube tarot readers that like to have lots of decks on hand so that different decks call to different people. And like I said, not a high recommend for the beginner tarot reader, high recommend for the David Bowie collector, but as far as readability goes, I would say you need to be at least slightly experienced in tarot to be able to read this deck. You might need a book still with you, and you might need a Rider-Waite tarot next to you while doing this to compare, just so that you can learn this deck, okay? So as I'm shuffling, let's see what we get here for bottom of the deck. I'm trying really hard to like shuffle good and move through these, but they are just gigantic, you see. That's why I do like those tinier decks, the little pocket decks. But I mean, I'm still gonna use the crap out of this deck. And this is our bottom. Look at that, Prince of Wands. Look at that beautiful image. Again, that's Mr. Jones there on the bottom. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know this was a longer video. I try not to do long videos like this, but I definitely think that this deck needed the attention. I was dying to get into it so that now I can start introducing myself, doing readings, messing with it a little bit, right? I didn't want to get it out of order and then have to put it back in order to do the video. So that is my genuine thoughts, pros and cons on the Starman Tarot deck. I'm very excited about it. And I hope you guys are too. If you came here because you're thinking about buying it, those are my thoughts, you know. If you want to buy it, Don't be a beginner to buy it. Be a little bit experienced. Maybe use it as a collector's piece if you're a big David Bowie fan and you don't know anything about tarot. And maybe if you're just starting out, keep that Rider-Waite deck next to you handy. Keep a book handy. Maybe read through that book a little bit and see what David DeAngelis was trying to do with this deck. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I know that was a longer video, and I really, really appreciate your views. I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I just want to remind you guys, it doesn't take anything to subscribe. You're not paying anything. I know some people have brought that up to me. They thought you had to pay to subscribe, and that's not true. That's what you're doing if you are getting notified and if you're doing all those extra things. But you don't have to do any of that. A little subscribe helps us both out. That way you get notified when I make a new video and I get to show more people, because it looks like 97% of my views are coming from non-subscribers right now. So if you are constantly coming back to my videos, if you're a friend of mine and you're clicking on my Facebook links when I post them, why not subscribe? You'll see me more anyways. And go ahead, drop a like if you like this video, if you like Starman Tarot, if you like David Bowie, if you like my shirt. Hey, I've been into some quarantine crafts lately, if you haven't noticed. And if you didn't like this video, go ahead, drop a dislike. That's cool too. You are not obligated to like my video in any shape or form. And why don't you drop a comment? Tell me what you think. Do you like this deck? Are you going to try it out? Do you want to get it as a collector? Do you like different decks instead? And I know there's a lot of people that aren't too into the low Scarabeo type decks. So let me know about that too. I've heard some controversy on those. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. This video is getting kind of lengthy. Sorry I had to run out there in the middle. I'll try to avoid that in my next unboxing video. But thank you again so much for spending time with me today. And I hope that you guys are all having a beautiful, wonderful day. And I hope to see you again in the next one. Namaste.